The one thing that I liked about the 2.0 compared to the previous model is just head shape was a little different. A longer face design, I felt like it was easier to square the face up and impact. Sometimes with the last one, I sort of left it a little bit open. The toe didn't catch up to the heel, so I leave a few to the right. Combination of swing and probably a little bit of the club. But this one, and I like as well that it's a bigger head size. Like I guess guys in my generation have been used to a 460cc head, and yeah, I mean, as soon as I just put it down, I remember the first time I hit this one at the photo shoot or commercial shoot in LA last September, and it came and it actually got damaged in transit, and there's a chip on the top of it, and I said, no, I don't want another one. This one's perfect, and I've kept it ever since. So it's a little banged up. Character, exactly. But it's ever since I started using it, it's been awesome. I have it 8.5 in neutral, so which is good as well because I've always been used to playing a driver at around that loft, and I felt with the previous one was very low spin, so I had to put it up to like 10.5, and I just wasn't used to looking down at a club that I could see so much of the club face. So to be able to see a straighter face and sort of set it up, where I want it, it's been great. I always think 3-woods and fairway woods are quite very individual clubs. You see guys on tour that'll have a 3-wood in their bag for they get comfortable with one and they have it in their bag for 6-7 years. It's sort of, I don't know. The reason that I use the glued version of the fairway woods is just because when I look down on it, I don't like to see the sort of thicker hosel as it would be in the driver. But I think a 5-wood has to be a pretty versatile club. I think fairway woods in general have to be pretty versatile. You have to, they have to be good off the tee. They have to be good off the deck. This 5-wood one goes, maybe full out max 255, 260, and I want to be able to try and I want to be able to hit it low. I want to be able to fly it, hit it high, hit it both ways, left to right, right to left, and it does everything. It has to be good off the tee. It has to, if you're going into par 5, you need to land it soft. It needs to, you need it to be able to do that. So for irons, I've always played a traditional blade sort of club, so I always like a traditional look. But yeah, testing the irons at the oven, which we were saying back in October. I guess what you're looking for in an iron is just, obviously, again, you want to get the lie right, the loft right, and everything like that. But I think one of the big things for top players is the way the sole, sort of gets through the turf. Again, I've always liked the thin sole, so it gets through the turf quite quickly. Some guys like a little bit of a wider sole, so it feels like it slides through the grass. I like to sort of trap the ball a little bit, so that's why I have quite a sharp leading edge and quite a thin sole here. For me, I'm not a guy that struggles with distance, so I like to see a little bit of spin on my iron shot. So I like to see it sort of coming out quite penetrating. Some guys like to have like a high launch and low spin to get the most out of it, but I like to sort of see it going the other way. So and I do hit the ball fairly high, but it sort of the way it reaches its apex might be a little different to some of the other guys. But yeah, I like to, and again, it's about controlling your ball flight. If you can control your trajectory, the easier it is to control the distance, and that's what it's always about. Yeah, I guess with wedges, I've always been a guy that likes not much bounce, so that the club sort of, quite a sharp leading edge, and that's sort of what I have here with most of my wedges actually. But yeah, I like the ball, especially with a wedge shot. I like the ball coming out quite low and with quite a lot of spin, because I feel like the lower that you can keep the trajectory, the easier it is to control the distance. Yeah, definitely an option. And of course, like Wentworth was perfect for it, because the toe sweep wedge was designed to make it easier out of the rough. take a little bit of, put a lot of weight in the toe, take a little bit of the, I guess the sole away at the heel, so it made it easier to just sort of slide through the rough. And the last few weeks I haven't felt like I've needed it too much because the rough hasn't been as thick. And then coming into this part of the season where we're playing links golf, and you're going to have, because these toe sweep wedges have quite a lot of bounce on them, so hard firm links turf, you want something with a little less bounce. So and you're not really chipping out of the rough that much anyway, so or hopefully not. So yeah, it's not, but it's definitely, it's a great option, and it obviously worked really well at Wentworth. Coming down the stretch, chipped in on 10, got up and down from a couple of bunkers, got up and down from left of the green on 17. So short game was crucial in that back nine, and I was able to play the shots when I needed them, and ended up getting the win. So yeah, as you said, definitely an option, and maybe going into the latter part of the season where you're playing a lot of these parkland courses in America with thick rough around the greens, it's definitely an option. As soon as I tested this ball, probably about this time, just after this time last year at Bridgestone in Akron, and I really liked it. It just, compared to the previous golf ball, the 20XI, I just felt that little bit softer to me, which I really liked. I like that soft feel, and again, it's all personal preference, but it's just been, I think the driver and the ball have, since last October when I started to put them both in play, it's been it's sort of been, my game in general is built on how I drive the golf ball, and I've driven the golf ball so well since sort of last October, and I definitely put it down to the combination of the driver and the resin black. But yeah, and around the greens as well, it's been, as I said, that soft feel has definitely made a difference. Being able to control the ball flight, control the distance a little bit better. More consistency with the spin rate as well. It's all really helped. And even when I wasn't with Nike, I remember sharing this story with you guys about whenever Nike were bringing out their resin golf ball, I was like, I sort of like the sound of this, because if you make a core that is lighter and faster in the middle, you make the perimeter a little bit heavier in a way, I guess, and I guess Rock, if he was here, would be able to explain it better to you guys, but it sounded like it made sense to me, and I always liked the sound of it. And then I got into it, and the one thing I really loved about the Nike ball when I first played it was how good it was in the wind, like how stable it was, and again, having that lighter core, making the perimeter a little, whatever, what word do you want?
MOI.
Yeah,
we're really talking about MOI, just like we're talking about those irons. It's something that,
and yeah, that's the one thing I really noticed with the golf was how stable it was in the wind. And then, this has just been an improvement on it again, so it's been really good.